Okay, welcome. We're doing a deep dive today into something pretty dramatic unfolding over Europe. Think, a hurricane's ghost haunting the Alps.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good way to put it.
We're looking at a really significant severe weather outbreak forecast for the northern Mediterranean and the Alpine regions, hitting today and tomorrow, August 28th and 29th, 2025.
It's a major event, 2 days, high impact.
Right, and our mission really is to unpack the science here. What are the atmospheric forces doing? What are the specific dangers? And maybe what it tells us bigger picture.
Absolutely. And what's fascinating, the main driver, the primary catalyst, it's this deep, slow-moving, upper-level trough just sitting over Western Europe.
Okay, like a big dip in the jet stream.
Exactly. But what makes this one special is its intensity and, crucially, its moisture content. It's being seriously enhanced, sort of supercharged, by the remnants of an Atlantic ex-hurricane, Aaron.
Okay, hold on. Ex-Hurricane Aaron. That was way out in the Atlantic, right? How does a storm that died out thousands of kilometers away end up causing, potential tornadoes in Italy? That seems a leap.
That does sound like a leap, but it's this cascading chain of events, you see. Aaron's leftover energy, and especially its tropical moisture, got pulled into the bigger atmospheric flow.
Okay.
That helped amplify the polar jet stream, carve out this really deep trough we mentioned, and the system is now moving over an area that's primed for trouble.
Right, how?
Well, think about the recent heat waves over the northern Mediterranean. That left behind a very hot, very humid air mass near the surface, extremely unstable.
Right, so the atmosphere's got a lot of energy stored up.
A ton of energy. We're seeing Cape E values, that's convective available, potential energy, basically thunderstorm fuel between 1,000, maybe even 2,000 joules per kilogram. That's high.
Very high.
And then you add powerful wind shear through a deep layer of the atmosphere, 20-25 meters per second. That helps storms get organized, rotate, last longer.
So they don't just pop up and die.
Exactly. And the final ingredient, moisture. Just tons of it. Precipitable water values, PWatt, are way up there, 42 to 45 millimeters. That's fueled by these unusually warm sea surface temperatures in the Mediterranean. So you've got the instability, the shear, the moisture. It's pretty much a perfect storm setup.
Okay, so all these intense ingredients are mixing. But the report mentions two distinct threats happening in sort of different but overlapping areas. How does that play out on the ground?
Yeah, and this localization is really interesting. Along the Swiss-Italian border, right up against the Alps, the big threat is extreme rainfall. You get what's called orographic lift-to-mountains force, that incredibly moist air upwards.
Like squeezing a sponge.
Precisely. And you get training convection, where storm cells keep forming and moving over the same spot. Some models are hinting at, locally, over 300 millimeters of rain.
Wow. That's massive flood and landslide territory.
Absolutely. Very dangerous. But then you go just south into northern Italy's Po Valley. This setup is different. The low-level winds and convergence there create, it's described as a textbook environment for intense supercells.
Yeah.
Long-lived rotating storms.
Supercells mean hail, tornadoes.
Exactly. The low-level share is exceptional. We're talking storm relative helicity, SRH, over 300. That's highly correlated with strong tornadoes, potentially long-track ones, and very large hail, maybe up to 6 centimeters. Golf ball size.
So completely different primary threat just a short distance away. That detail is crucial for warnings, I imagine.
Paramount. Life-saving, really.
So what are the authorities saying? How does this translate into actual warnings for people living there?
Well, the official warnings definitely back up the severity. Italy's Protezione Civile, their civil protection agency, they've issued a red alert, criticità rossa, for parts of Lombardy.
Red alert, that's the highest.
It is, yeah. Specifically for extreme hydrogeological risk.
Right.
So floods and landslides, just as the forecast suggests.
And in Switzerland.
Media Swiss has also gone to its highest level, level 5, very high danger, for rainfall in some southern cantons like Ticino and Graubünden.
Level 5, wow.
Yeah, and they're explicitly mentioning widespread flooding and that landslides and debris flow is very likely. They're setting expected totals of 120, 160 millimeters, which aligns with that extreme rainfall threat.
So the warnings are stark. Immediate life-threatening risks in both zones, just from different phenomena.
Correct. They're urging people to be extremely cautious, stay informed, avoid travel if possible.
It really underscores the complexity, doesn't it? How global patterns, like an ex-hurricane, connect to these very localized, intense impacts. The atmosphere's power is, humbling
It is. And, we shouldn't really see this as just a freak event, an isolated disturbance.
Oh, how so?
It kind of represents the culmination of this boom-bust weather cycle we're seeing more often. You get prolonged heat, drought maybe, and then bam, extreme high-impact rain or storms.
So a pattern linked to broader changes.
Many scientists see it as a signal, yeah. A pattern increasingly identified with a warming climate. This event could be seen as a case study of Europe's sort of emerging climate reality, a shift towards a more volatile water cycle.
More extremes, less predictability, perhaps.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
More intense swings. The good news for the immediate future is the system will gradually move east and weaken, and behind it, much cooler, more stable air is set to move in.
A sharp end to the meteorological summer, then.
A very abrupt end, yes.
That's certainly a powerful thought to leave us with this event, not just as weather, but maybe as a glimpse into a changing climate pattern. Something to really think about. For now, the message is clear. Stay informed and stay safe out there. And keep exploring this fascinating world around us.